This week has been one of those weeks where I've been contacted by so many different kinds of people asking for a reading, but wanting to know about other people. And so there's a very fine line when doing a reading on if if you're buying the reading and another person is impacting your life in some way, then information can come through. But if you're just asking about somebody else's life, firstly, what do you do with that information? So if I happen to tell you what's going to happen in their future, it's not up to you to then go and tell them if they didn't ask for it, because they might not be into psychics. They might not want to know what's going to happen in their future. So if you don't tell them, right, so you've got information about somebody else's future and you don't tell them because you're respecting their privacy, what are you going to do with that information? How does that change your life? Having that information, how does it change your life? Because most of the time people ask about other people totally out of the goodness of their own heart. They're concerned for somebody else. Let's say someone buys a reading for me and they say, I'm really concerned about my parents' health. They're getting elderly and I'm worried about their health. Now, I'm obviously not going to tell them that somebody's going to die, and I could tell them that things that could go wrong in their health. But I feel like the reason they're asking that question is so that they can find some way within themselves to be prepared to get their own emotions and their own head sorted out as to what could possibly happen. So if someone is elderly and they're going to have problems with their health, how is that going to impact you? All the guidance that really can come through is how you can be supportive of them going through what they are going through. If somebody, if you see a couple that you know are going, like maybe a sister is going through a breakup and you bought a reading and said, I want to know what's going to happen in my sister's life. That's her journey. The only thing that can really come through that's authentic is to honor her privacy, but to give you tools to support her, what things that you can do to support her through the journey. But a really good medium or psychic is not going to tell you somebody else's entire journey, because that's none of your business. It's a lot of people will also ask me, what is somebody else thinking, especially if they're in a relationship or they're just starting a relationship and they want to know what somebody else is thinking. So we're not mind reading. What we're doing is looking at the energy of the situation and go with it. If you feel like you want to go into a relationship, you don't have to know how it's going to turn out, just because every single thing has a purpose to it. You're going to learn something. You'll either learn this is not what I want, or you'll learn this is what I want. I think most of the time people want to know in advance because somehow they're trying to protect themselves. They need to know something so that they can, because in the past, if they ever had an experience with shock, if they heard some news and it shocked them so much, you will try in the future to always avoid a feeling of shock. So you always want to be prepared, emotionally prepared. And the way you get emotionally prepared is to try to guess what other people are thinking, try to work out what's going to happen in their life. And so that if it's going to impact on you in some way, whatever happens around you with other people, if it's going to impact on you, then you can be emotionally prepared. And I'm sure that's why a lot of people ask those sort of questions, because especially if you like to control everything around you, it's frightening to not be able to control everything that's going on around you. So yeah, it's been one of those weeks where, and I even, I had somebody that's friends of theirs had some really, really bad news, and she wanted to get a message to pass on to the friends. And it's a very lovely thought. It's a loving thought because it's coming from a place of, I want to be able to bring them comfort. But you also have to respect that other people might not want that. It's a little bit like when somebody is going through grief, we're not sure what they want. We're not sure what the person going through the grief wants. Do they want our support? Do they want a message from someone on the other side? Is it too scary to get anything like that? Are they not ready for it? So I think the best thing, if you're trying to support somebody that's going through a really tough time or going through grief, is to ask them what they need. What do you need from me? Don't take it upon yourself to do it for them without asking. Just say, what do you need from me? And that way they can tell you exactly what they need.